Hello and welcome to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV. And in this video I'm going to show you some of the work that my friend Chris at TDBus13 on YouTube carried out on the Cactus while I was away on a family holiday. So it was noted at the last MOT that there was an issue with the exhaust flexi. Basically the exhaust flexi was starting to blow. There was a slight tear in it. I also reported to Chris that an exhaust hanger was broken. That's probably been about since February that had been broken. Basically the sort of middle bit rusted away, and it was just basically the two ends were sort of catching the exhaust pipe and just making a metallic clanking noise. So it turned out that that bracket had broken from a catalytic converter, and another front hanger was ready to break off, as you can see from the pictures here. So Chris managed to reattach the hanger and applied some very high temperature paint to protect it, which you can see here. Chris then turned his attention to the split flexi and purchased a welding flexi section, a manifold gasket and a new cat to front pipe clamp for the priceless sum of £35, and these can be found here. Next up, the front V-clamp piece was cut off the old flexi and welded to the new flexi. Front hangers were reattached and additional support plate was welded and more VHT paint was applied. It was then time to stop for the school run. The repaired cat was refitted with a new gasket up front at the manifold. Chris then made a start welding the flexi to the front pipe, but darkness started to fall. The next day, the front flexi was all welded up again and given a coat of VHT. Another job I asked Chris to carry out was to secure the battery. Ever since I replaced the battery last year, it never sat securely because it was a smaller battery. And also there was a clip missing. So we basically added a temporary fix to the battery last year, which to be fair lasted 6,000 miles, in the shape of a block of wood. Next, Chris started to put the exhaust back on. The back box needed to be welded back on, but a slight change was made with the spare bit from the flexi onto the back box, and the U-clamp secures it to the middle section, and again VHT paint was applied. Chris noticed the rear chassis leg where the exhaust mount for the back box looked rather rusty and treated it to BPC BC80 bronze underseal. With the exhaust all refitted, Chris then turned his attention to checking the Cactus over for the MOT, and came across a Jubilee clamp not quite holding the drive shaft boot we had issues with last year. So a temporary fix of a stainless steel cable tie was added for the moment, and currently at the moment this is holding up quite well. With the Cactus back on all four wheels, Chris decided to go out and do some Citroen spotting. So that's the Cactus ready for its MOT in a couple of weeks' time. I might nip it into Farmer's Auto Care just to check on the handbrake just to see if we can adjust it slightly. But I'd just like to thank Chris for carrying out the work and getting the jobs done that I needed doing, because it was going to cost, for a flexi alone, I was quoted by the dealer with the big yellow sticker last year about £500. And when I checked with Farmers as well, that was the same sort of price as well. I think we were about £700 to carry out the work. And it was also just, he also done that, the CV boot, and he also tidied up some of the cabling for the neon light as well, just so it wasn't hanging off the bottom of the car. And just basically took the feed for the neon light and ran it from, instead of running it from a battery, ran it from a fuse box. So it was really much appreciated. Cactus is looking good. It sounds good as well. I actually think it sounds a wee bit quieter for some reason, but it could just be because I'd got so used to maybe the blow and the flexi. But it does sound quieter on the move. And as we speak, that car has covered over 13,000 miles now in Macare in the last year and a half. So it's going in for its MOT on the 11th of November. So hopefully, it'll pass. Hopefully pass with no advisories, but maybe one or two advisories, I would say. And yeah, we'll just see what happens on the 11th of November. So as always, I'd just like to thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, and we'll catch you soon in a future video. Farewell.